This is the government's week in review for the week ending Friday, March 8, 2024. I am Chrisanne Mitchell. In the headlines, payment of proposed increases in salary for 2023 and 2024 to be paid to TAMCC faculty and staff. Details after the break.
I'm a VIP. I'm a VIP. I'm immunized.
I am VIP. I am vaccinated. I am immunized. I am protected. Our children and nation depend on vaccination for immunization. Childhood vaccination is national priority. It is their protection from disease and sicknesses. Let's all be VIPs and safeguard our beautiful Grenada. I am DJ Blackstorm and I am a VIP health champion. Be a VIP like me.
Let's all be VIP champions.
A message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Be a VIP Childhood Vaccination and Immunization Campaign in collaboration with UNICEF and the Pan American Health Organization.
Welcome back. Cabinet has approved the payment of the proposed increases in salary for 2023 and 2024, amounting to $1,201,848.50 for faculty and staff at the T.A. Marryshow Community College. During a press conference hosted by the Ministry of Education on Friday, the sum mentioned for the payment of outstanding salary increases to TAMCC workers for the period 2017 to 2022 was quoted as $3,185,396.17. However, that sum represented the first of three tranches paid retroactively. The second and third tranches were paid totaling $7,416,693.70. This means that the actual sum of $10,602,089.90 represents the amount of the money paid in the last 14 months to TAMCC workers in outstanding salary increases for the period 2017 to 2022.
And as of last cabinet sitting, the cabinet has approved the sum of $1,201,848 Eastern Caribbean dollars and 50 cents to honor salary increases for the faculty and staff of the T.A. Marryshow Community College as follows: 4% for 2023, 4% for 2024. This comes as part of the same agreement within that meeting on January 9th, that representation will be made by the Minister for Education to the Cabinet to have those payments made, and that the college and the unions were going, the council and the unions were going to work together to ensure that a collective bargaining agreement was worked on and finalized for implementation commencing January 2025. We are making good on our promise as a government. We are making good on our promise as a ministry. We value industrial peace. And we know at the end of the day, our nation's students are the ones who suffer most.
Minister for Education, Honorable David Andrew. Government pays an annual subvention of $16,137,248.28 to TAMCC and $1,516,240 was paid to the institution under the Free Tuition Assistance Program. Both TAMCC and NULO are identified as two post-secondary institutions to benefit from the OECS Skills and Innovation Project to the tune of US $15 million. This will see major upgrades in post-secondary programs, offerings, and facilities and capacity building for both institutions. Senator Andrew was joined at Friday's press conference by Permanent Secretary with Responsibility for Education Administration, Aaron Francois, Permanent Secretary with Responsibility for Human Resource Development, Elvis Moraine, Chief Education Officer, Dominic Jeremiah, and the Chair of the TAMCC Council, Dr. Wendy Grenade. Grenada has joined a list of countries that will benefit from the distribution of usable medical supplies from hospitals in the U.S. We get more in this report from the Ministry of Health.
Grenada and the US-based charitable organization, Afia Foundation, have signed an agreement that would see the donation of unused medical supplies that may otherwise be disposed of in the United States. Led by its founder and CEO, Daniel Boutin, the Afia Foundation sources unused medical supplies and then donates them to third world or developing nations for use at health facilities such as hospitals, clinics, and health centers. On Tuesday, the signing ceremony took place at the Guav Health Center in the presence of Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell. Ms. Boutin says the foundation creates access to critical medical supplies by successfully recovering surplus medical supplies, hospital equipment, and humanitarian provisions that they deliver to where they can be of aid.
We collect high-quality surplus medical supplies, equipment, durable supplies from the biggest and the best health systems of New York City, and we only send supplies that have been matched to requests from on-the-ground providers. And this is an important component of our work. Our goal is to strengthen the existing healthcare infrastructure.
To date, the foundation has shipped 12.5 million pounds of supplies to 83 countries, and Grenada has become the 84th, as the first container of supplies arrived in the island last month.
The container was packed with wound care supplies, supplies for primary, pediatric labs, surgical and urgent care. We had tracheotomy trays, orthopedic braces, and so much more, and the medical stores will be distributing. The fair market value for this first shipment is $100,000 US. The beauty here is that we're working with your remarkable Minister of Health. We can ensure that the supplies sent are vitally needed island-wide and distributed as such.
Minister of Health Honorable Philip Telesford noted that the partnership will assist the government with advancing primary healthcare services across the island.
This is extremely critical because it is no secret that there is a pull, or one might say a push, towards the general hospital in particular. Regardless of your complaint, everybody rushes to the general hospital. This initiative is geared towards assisting in transforming primary health care, which will indeed pull people back to the community healthcare facilities. And this is exactly what we're trying to do.
Reporting for the Ministry of Health, I am Blossom Alexis Welsh.
St. Andrew has successfully defended its championship title at the Nexa GUT National Primary Schools Athletic Championships to win its 28th title. The young athletes from the big parish made their intentions clear from the start of the two-day event, closing off day one Wednesday by almost doubling the points of the team in second place. They continued their dominance on Thursday and by the end of the championships amassed 759.5 points to steal victory. Coach of the winning team is Sheldon Carmichael.
Well, it is a proud moment for us as a branch, and we want to say congratulations to all the students who have worked hard. I also want to take this opportunity to thank every school in our branch. The reason for this success over the last 2 days is because of a collective effort from our secondary school and our primary school. So I just want to say thank you to all the teachers, the principals, and the coaching staff of St. Andrew's branch. In preparation of our athletes who are coming down to these games, we asked for the assistance of some of the coaches from our secondary schools. So we got coaching assistance from our secondary schools. Also, the secondary schools assist us in providing some of the implements and in providing things like coolers and other resources. So it was a collective effort.
St. Patrick secured the second position with 495 points, while St. George captured third place with 413 points. The athletes are proud of their performances and spoke of their preparation ahead of the event, which was staged at the Kirani James Athletic Stadium.
And they're off. And right away, it is Oliver, but he has to work hard. He has to work hard. There goes Oliver. He's leaving the pack right now. And St. George is in second, but definitely a very impressive run there from Oliver. He delivered as expected.
I'm very happy with my performance. Even though it had been hard to get first place.
Well, Sherry-Ann, we got to cut you here
All
now.
right,
They're
but
gone,
the race
they're
has
off, they're
started, so
running,
we'll
they're
come
gone.
back to you.
This is the start of the boys 200 meter under 11. Coming out of lane 2 with a serious mentality is Kai Kador of St. Mark. Kai Kador of St. Mark, he came around the bend. Surely he's ahead of everybody on this one. He will come off the bend now. Kai Kador, he's slowing up a little bit, but look at the athlete in lane 4. This looks like Ronan Lessie. Ronan Lessie. Lessie is lunging. Lessie is going. Lessie's going to be beaten on the tape. Is he going to be beaten on the tape just in the nick of time? That looks like McIntosh. McIntosh caught Lessie just on the nick of the tape.
Coordinator of Sports, Carolyn Peters, noted that the future of sports looks bright.
I must say, let's start with what I've seen so far with the, yesterday and today with the competition, and this with the schools at that age, the parish competition. I must say that we see the talent there. The sport look good. This is the age group where if you look at the long-term development plan, you will see that is the learning to train age group. Not even some of them may reach learning to compete. But if you have seen some of the athletes here today and yesterday in the 100 meters, in the shoes, in the 400 meters, we can see the potential. I watch them and I smile. I say, that's a good batch to start up your program with. As a young coach, you run your 2-year training program with them, and we have a good sets of persons to get and to work with for the future of sports. It's a plus for our sport. It shows that track and field not only at a high in Grenada, it shows that the developmental program is working. We have seen the outstanding performance from St. Andrew, St. Patrick's, St. George, and I must say that looking at it, it feels really good. It shows that one this morning was mentioning St. Andrew is going to win everything, and they was wondering why. It is Choctaw sports within the parish. And I'm an old St. Andrews man, and I must say that from the one, this Choctaw sports and the competitiveness among the primary schools are very key, which lead up to their performing extremely good here.
St. David finished 4th, Carriacou and Petite Martinique 5th, St. John 6th, and St. Mark 7th. This is the Government Week in Review. When we return, the role of credit unions in the transformation process.
So you think it's all about sport? Running can save your life. Say you're at the beach, having a good time, and you feel a strong shaking. Run. See the water withdraw an unusual distance from the shore. Run. Hear a strange roar. Run. If you experience any of these warning signs, run to higher ground.
There may not be enough time for an official tsunami warning. Be tsunami smart. Know the natural warning signs. Are you ready?
Visit weready.org. Brought to you by SEDIMA and the European Union.
Run.
Welcome back. Governor of the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, Dr. Timothy Antoine, said credit unions have a crucial role to play in Grenada's big push to transformation. Governor Antoine was the featured speaker of the 2nd annual business meeting of the cooperative sector at Belmont Estate earlier this week, which focused on the theme, the place and prospects of credit unions in the emerging financial landscape. The meeting attracted representatives from all credit unions, non-financial cooperatives, and the Grenada Authority for the Regulation of Financial Institutions, GARFIN. Governor Antoine emphasized that Grenada's economy, which is now worth $3.6 billion, can double with the credit unions' help.
But the bottom line is this. For us to attain that in 10 years, we're going to have to grow this economy at a clip of 7% per year for the next 10 years. 7% per year for the next 10 years. And to do that, we have to minimize the impact of shocks, which oftentimes set us back. So I'm putting to you this afternoon that the credit union movement has a vital role to play in the big push to double the size of the Ghanaian economy. And let me be clear, the doubling of the Ghanaian economy is not simply about GDP or economics. It is about enlarging opportunity for Grenadians. The unemployed, the underemployed, the underserved, the frustrated, the disillusioned, the discouraged, but also the young and bright who are looking for opportunity to express themselves in the Grenadian society and economy. You have a role, credit unions, to help with that big push. So I need to catch that vision. And like I said, it supports the national plan, it supports the vision of the Prime Minister, Vision 75.
Dr. Antoine also acknowledged the unparalleled connection credit unions have with their members and highlighted the importance of financial literacy. He said the ECCB is willing to partner with financial institutions to enhance the knowledge of its members.
As a first step, you need to partner with us and others to build up the financial literacy of our members. We did a financial literacy survey last year and we found that only 1 in 3 persons have access to insurance, pensions, and stocks in the currency union. Which means 2 in 3 persons, 2/3 do not. Most of your members do not. We did this, the survey also found that in terms of financial resilience, only 1 in 2 of our people could be considered, 1 of 2 can be considered financially resilient. So part of the role I see for credit unions, working with the central bank and others, is to build up financial literacy amongst the membership. Because it is shocking, frankly, that how little we know about money and how to manage money and how to navigate financial issues.
The first cooperative sector business luncheon was held last year. Students from secondary schools will have the opportunity to dive into the world of technology and apply it to real-life situations with the launch of technology clubs, the first of which was launched recently. Details in this report by Annette Moore.
The Ministry of Education recently launched its Technology Clubs in Secondary Schools initiative at the MacDonald College in St. Patrick. This was done in partnership with the Restore a Sense of GIS organization.
But every single tech club has to adopt an NGO, whether it's whatever. We have 2 major themes, which is gender and climate, but you could adopt any NGO. And what the tech club does is that they empower those NGO with technology, help build their website, help build their chatbot, help set up computer systems to them, whatever it might be. There are tech clubs across the region where the students are the ones who offer all the tech support required in the school, right? So it's about teaching them to give back, teaching them social responsibility. I won't go into this here really, but each tech club has a structure. The clubs are run by the students, for the students, with the support of teachers and everybody else. So, you know, you have your president and everything else. But the reason I wanted to just point that out is the tech club is working for billing itself, but it's not working by itself. Our presidents merge with each other across the region and they communicate and they share ideas because don't reinvent the wheel. There are support systems across the region that your students will interact with each other and they build leadership skills and so on. So there's a huge part of that.
The activities in the clubs will involve coding, robotics, digital media, and will generally promote the positive use of technology to solve real-world problems. Speaking at the event on February 14th, Minister for Education, Senator the Honorable David Andrew, thanked collaborators and expressed his enthusiasm about the initiative.
We understand the role that technology must play in Grenada's transformation. So today, when I see you here, sir, and I see all that's before our students and the prospects for the Tech Club, I'm very happy. And thanks to my team for having done that and taken us, and thanks to you for collaborating to see that happen. You can expect more. Students, you can expect more, because we are convinced of how important this is from a government point of view and from a Ministry of Education point of view.
The Education Minister says the ministry is actively pursuing the development of a learning management system and improving the infrastructure for digitization and programming, inclusive of training IT teachers in coding and other areas. The Chief Education Officer, Dominic Jeremiah, encourages schools to make the most of the tech clubs.
I really want us to take the opportunity to make this bear fruit here in Grenada. And RSC, as you have heard already, is a non-profit organization. RSC has been working in many of the islands of the Caribbean, from the Bahamas all the way down to Guyana. This is another ICT initiative of the Ministry of Education, and the Minister will speak to that. But it is important that we recognize the partnership that exists between CAPS, the Ministry of Education, and RSC. I'm extremely happy today that this is coming to fruition. And so I want to thank you, our teachers and students, I want to encourage you to embrace this program. And, sometimes we talk a lot about things that we dream and desire, but this is really an opportunity to be hands-on, to do what, in fact, we have been talking about for so many months and years, and the students will definitely have an opportunity to be hands-on.
Permanent Secretaries Elvis Marine and Aaron Francois, District Education Officer Marcia Francis, other ministry and school officials, additional stakeholders, and students from several participating schools were present at this event. For the GIS Week in Review, I'm Annette Moore.
This is the Government Week in Review. We take another break. Still to come, Grenada launches climate and ozone protection program.
Get ready to witness the ultimate showcase of talent, speed, and determination at the 2024 Carriacou Games. This prestigious event brings together the best young athletes from across the Caribbean, competing for glory like never before. With the motto, many people, one region, celebrating athletics, Carriacou embodies the essence of Caribbean unity through sports, igniting a flame that illuminates the future of sports in the region. Don't miss out on this incredible event taking place at the Carani James Athletic Stadium from Saturday 30th March to Monday 1st April 2024. Get your tickets now at Grenadian Optical or visit gotofed.com and secure your spot to be part of this extraordinary celebration of athleticism.
Welcome back. Grenada has launched the Climate and Ozone Protection Alliance program, which is designed to tackle the distinctive challenges posed by ozone-depleting substances and hydrofluorocarbon banks. It was co-organized by the National Ozone Unit of the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy in Grenada in collaboration with the GIS Proclaimer. Grenada faces unique challenges in managing ODS and HFC banks, which are vital contributors to global warming and ozone layer depletion. With the growing demand for cooling and air conditioning units rising sharply, COPA works jointly with partner countries across private and public sector to formulate solutions to reduce the presence of these substances. Maya Smarja, COPA Secretariat, said that COPA will seek to fill these existing gaps.
COPA has been initiated by the German Ministry for Economic Affairs and Climate Action and is jointly implemented by GIZ, UNDP and UNIDO. And COPA works jointly with stakeholders from around the world, diverse actors from private companies to public institutions, but also NGOs and academia, to advance the solutions which are needed urgently to reduce those ODS and HFC banks, and then ultimately complete the shift to a sustainable refrigerant management and a sustainable transformation of the cooling sector.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy, Ms. Perron Johnson, thanked COPA and the relevant stakeholders for giving Grenada the opportunity to be involved in the project.
There is a need for complementary implementation of measures. So therefore, we in Grenada, we are here to join forces with COPA, which is well suited to provide such complementary support and action. We want to thank COPA, we want to thank GIZ, we want to thank the International Climate Initiative for supporting Grenada in our very ambitious effort. It is indeed what I will consider to be a milestone event again for Grenada, simply because it's another first opportunity for us, it's another first opportunity for the region, but most importantly, Grenada is leading the way. So I want to place on record the ministry's profound appreciation to the staff of the Ozone Unit.
COPA has organized several activities for Grenada, including the procurement of 20 refillable cylinders, training for service technicians, training for the Reclamation Center, and analysis and formulation of a business model. The nomination period is now open for national awards until May 31st, 2024. Members of the National Awards Advisory Committee have embarked on a public education campaign to raise awareness on the awards process, its significance, and the role Grenadians can play in ensuring heroes are recognized annually. 6 categories have been identified: Companion of the Order of Grenada, Order of Grenada Gold Award of Excellence, the Spice Island Award, the Cameron Award, Medal of Honor, and the most distinguished order, the Honor of Knighthood. Chairman of the committee is Dominic Jeremiah.
The process is now open, remains open until the end of May. Okay, until the end of May 2024. So after the end of May, the 31st of May, there will be no more nominations accepted for consideration. So we have the month of March, the month of April, and the month of May. Okay? So we want the public to be aware of that, because after all the nominations have come in, then the committee has to sit now and deliberate. And that will take probably another month or two. We must have the name of the nominee. We must have the date of birth, the place of birth, the place of residence, the occupation, the marital status, some contact information like phone numbers, and then the person nominating must give the reason for the nomination, okay? And must identify the areas in which they have contributed based on the description, the descriptive requirement for each of the awards. And then we are inviting the persons making the nomination to also provide a brief biography. Now, we don't want an epistle, or we don't want a novel. What we want is just a brief 250 words bio on the person. And of course, we would need the information of the person making the nomination, the name, the address, their phone number, and their email.
Crown Counsel in the Attorney General's Chamber, Aaliyah Williams, said Section 10 of the National Honors and Awards Act, which guides the entire process, says anyone can be a nominee. She highlighted the process after the forms are completed.
So you fill out the form, and the form will be considered by the committee. Once they make their considerations and investigations, then that is passed on to the Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister would also review the recommended list, and then it's passed on to the Governor General, who would then appoint. Well, firstly, they would actually make an announcement and publish it in the Gazette, and then make the appointment. In terms of who is awarded, most persons usually look forward to the award ceremony on Independence Day, which is, of course, stated here in the Act, but it can happen at any time.
Dr. Julie Dubois, member of the committee, called for more local history and national events like the awards to be incorporated in the education process in schools. This, she said, will make the process seamless in years to come.
These children in our schools will become adults one day, and they'll be sitting in our places. So before, when we used to have civics, Mr. Jeremiah, you would remember that. When we had civics, then those books would teach us a lot of the things that go on in government. You know, in a simple way, the names of the prime ministers, all the countries, their capitals, and all that. And I think this is one of the things that can be taught when you're in education, to teach our children that there is an awards committee, different kinds of awards that Grenadians can receive, and why they receive them, you know, the criteria and so on. So if we start teaching, you know, those things, we start incorporating subjects like those, you know, topics like those into that, then I think our work would become easier as time goes on.
Forms will be available at police stations, churches, and organizations. The completed forms must be brought to the Ministry of Education and addressed to the National Awards Committee. The Environmental Health Division is encouraging local food businesses to adhere to proper health practices in their operations or face the repercussions, which may include the temporary closure of their business. Learn more in this report. The Ministry of Health is continuing with its mission to reduce the transmission of foodborne diseases and has amped up activities in that effort. One of the important measures is the inspection of food-related businesses and premises. Inspections began last year and have been completed in 5 parishes, including Carriacou, and are currently being done in the 2 largest parishes, which have been determined to house the bulk of food-related establishments. Chief Medical Officer in the Ministry, Dr. Sean Charles, notes that the undertaking is necessary in order to identify areas of serious concern to public health.
Now, to date, inspections have been completed for St. David, St. Patrick, St. John, St. Mark, Carriacou, but there are inspections currently ongoing in St. George and St. Andrew. The aim of these inspections is really to identify conditions that can make it favorable for disease transmission, to identify unsafe environments, and to avoid having situations in the future.
He says a small number of businesses have been determined to have satisfactory conditions. However, an unacceptable number had some aspect of operation that needed urgent attention.
Some of the findings during these inspections include general lapses in the sanitation of the facilities, poor maintenance, less than ideal food handling practices, low percentage of workers medically certified, poor and disorganized storage, poor observance of food safety measures, keeping of chemicals and other substances in close proximity to food, potential for cross-contamination, utensils that were less than ideal in condition, malfunctioning refrigerators, infestation by rodents, food contaminated by droppings of rodents and insects, sale of unwholesome food, and lack of hygiene and facilities such as toilets and so on.
Coming out of these inspections, corrective measures were recommended for many of the businesses, many of which have acceded to the suggestions. Reporting for the Ministry of Health, I am Blossom Alexis Welsh. We take another break. Still to come, NADMA pleased with outcome of pre-Carib wave exercise. Disaster Management Agency is satisfied with the response and outcome of its 2024 pre-Carib wave exercise held on Thursday with students of Wesley College. The annual Tsunami exercise seeks to validate and advance tsunami preparedness efforts in the Caribbean. NADMA coordinator Terence Walters commended the school for accepting the challenge and encouraged Grenadians to participate in the Carib wave exercise on March 21st. He outlined the significance of the drills.
So we are, this annual exercise every year in March, it is a big public education and information push, and we get people to participate in the tsunami or Carib wave exercise. And this year is no different, but this is just a pre-activity with the students of Wesley College. And it was a really good activity to see the students participate and raise awareness among them as to if there is a tsunami watch, a tsunami warning, what they should do, or how to get to higher ground and ensure that they allow themselves to be safe along with their peers and other people, so that they can pass the message that the tsunami is approaching. We need to get to higher ground. To participate in the exercise in 2024, you can go to tsunamizone.org and choose Carib Wave 2024, and you can register there, and then you participate in the exercise to ensure that you get the information and you know what's happening. So it's on March 21st, and look out for Carib Wave 2024.
Principal Mrs. Donnell St. Bernard said this is the second exercise the school had participated in for the term. The first was a fire drill. She highlighted some ongoing initiatives to keep the students informed and prepared.
I am really appreciative of the team from NADMA who came to assist with us to help us build muscle memory so that we would be able to know how to handle in a situation like this if it occurs. It is very important to be prepared. I mean, with a school of over 300 students, it's important that every child knows exactly what to do when an alarm signals. So it's very, very important for every person on the compound to be prepared and to know what to do. We have signs up around the compound letting them know the pathway, the different signals, and so we will address the assembly. We would have persons coming in to speak on the different eventualities, what will happen, and so on. That's what we have done so far.
The students were happy to share some of the knowledge gained from the experience.
Exercise for today was, depends on how a tsunami was coming, how to evaporate if you're out in a building, how to evaporate the building and get the muster point as they tell us today. And it was a good exercise. It was a good exercise to come up to the muster point, but we learned it, and the man tell us to get to the muster point if you was like in the home and in the family when they reach to the higher ground, then we'll make sure to do a head count and make sure the family is safe.
If I ever had a real tsunami, everything that we have learned today, I will do exactly as that, because I want to be safe with everybody else from the school.
It is being described as a collection and commentary of people, places, and events that have shaped the historic landscape of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petite Martinique. The National Organizing Committee of the 50th Anniversary of Independence launched its commemorative magazine earlier this week at a ceremony at the Parliament building. The publication represents Grenada's existence as an independent nation, featuring colorful articles on people like Sir Eric Matthew Gerry, the father of independence, and living legends like Telfa Bidu, who is known for his influence in the tourism industry. There were numerous contributors to the commemorative magazine, including historian Dr. Angus Martin.
We all realized that the 50th anniversary was a big thing, and that we had to capture this special moment, and the best way to do that was in a magazine that recorded some of the seminal moments in our history, but especially the last 50 years. A great deal have happened in the last 50 years, and capturing it all in a magazine was the first problem we had to deal with. I think we delayed the process by an entire week, trying to see if we could fit the last 50 years, people, places, and events in less than 150 pages. We wanted to make sure that all were represented within these pages that would become a special memory for those who witnessed it or those who kept a copy of this Golden Jubilee celebration. But it soon dawned on us that we were not right in the history of the past 50 years, as this magazine was not the place for that. But we could use this magazine to tell some of the stories that have inspired us, or made us cry, or shake our heads in disbelief, or made us laugh, or made us want to change our world. Stories of Grenada that we want our children and grandchildren to know were important to us.
Chairperson of the NOC, Dr. Wendy Crawford, noted that the magazine was locally produced by Grenadian writers, authors, and illustrators, and puts on display what she calls our Grenadianism.
This magazine contains something for all, with a wide range of stories, articles, and images on diverse topics, written by our own authorities in the various areas, from sports, culture, politics, history, to both building in Carriacou and quality of family life in our beautiful Petite Martinique. We covered it all. Those memorable moments of iconic achievements of our people, from people like Gloria Payne to Dame Hilda Bino, to Telfa Bido, Junior Murray, and our own Karani, and more. I want to take this opportunity, though, to publicly thank our Prime Minister, who has provided distinguished and inspiring leadership to every aspect of the Jubilee celebration.
Head of the 50th Independence Secretariat, Gail Purcell, says there are limited hard copy magazines, but online copies are available.
The magazine will be printed in limited copies, but it will be made available to key institutions such as schools, statutory bodies, diplomatic missions, and government agencies. The magazine will be available online as a digital interactive book, so every citizen of Grenada can have access. We are also presently considering making the magazine available for purchase online via Amazon, so Grenadians who are desirous of having a physical copy can get their hands on one. I know we've moved to this digital space, but I think something as beautiful as this composition is, there is certainly merit in having your hands on a copy that you can hold, you can hug, and you can treasure, and you can, most importantly, continue to pass on for generations to come.
During the ceremony, the NOC took the opportunity to reward the designer of the 50th anniversary of Independence logo, Ordell de Riggs. He received a check valued at EC $5,000. This brings us to the end of the government's week in review for the week ending Friday, March 8, 2024. I'm Chris and Mitchell, thanking you for viewing.